Alright folks, welcome back to another game. We've got a hard puzzle today, and tell you I've tried a couple times and my brain just wasn't working, so just calm myself here and we'll get going again. I like this cool little checker pattern right in here. It's kind of fun looking. Alright, I notice off the bat I have two sevens here and a 7 here. So there's only one spot left for a 7 here, which helps my pair of 8s, and now I have an 8 here somewhere. I like looking at pairs. Pairs are wonderful. Like here's a pair of 3s that come over here, so I know I have to have a 3 here or here. Let's see what else we have. Pairs of pairs. Okay, so like we have this 2 that comes up and this 2 that comes up, so one of these 2 is a 2. Pairs of 4s, pairs of 7s, pairs of 8s. Okay, so we have a 7, a 7, and a 7. So we know one of these two has to be a 7. Okay, we have a pair of 6s that come across the top and the bottom. So we only have one spot left for a 6. That is helpful. Okay, we have a 3 and a 3. Some 3s here. Some 4s. Okay. All right. Now I have a 1 and a 3 blocking this spot. So for this column, I know I need a 1 and a 3, and here's a 1 and a 3. So that means this one's got to be a 1, or this one has to be a 1, and then this one has to be a 3, or this one has to be a 3. So just by the numerology, now this spot right here can't be a 2 or a 4 either. So this may have to be a 1, because I think the 2 and the 4 is what I'm missing. So if I got a 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so using both vertically and horizontally on this particular spot, and I get rid of the 1s, because that's what I'm missing. I'm missing a 2 and a 4. And I got a 2 and a 4 here that come up. I got a 2 that comes across here. Okay, so now I've got 3 numbers missing here, which I've got an 8 and a 9 that are missing, and a 5. Oh, cool. So anytime you're missing 2 of the numbers, so if I do this crisscross again, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this spot can only be a 9. All right, and then so I've got a 5 and an 8 and a 5 and an 8. So that was helpful. Now I've got a pair of 9s I just put in and a 9 that comes down the right side. So we know I have to have a 9 over here. Let's see what else we put in. Okay, I can't have a 1 here, so that means I have to have a 1 either here or here for this row. 1, 2, 3. I need a 4. Now that could go any one of those. 5, and then I need a 6. Okay, cool. So see I have a 1 and a 6 here. So I have that same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this has to be a 4. So maybe this game, that's what we're going to find a lot of crisscross numbers here. Okay, so the numbers we're now missing are a 1 and a 6, and I actually do have a 6 here to help me out. Can't be there. So there's a 6 and there's a 1. Now this 1 now comes up and says we have to have a 1 either here or here. No 1 in the bottom, no 1 in the middle, so it has to be left or right. Okay, and now we have 2 4s here. So 4 has to be top or bottom here. Okay. All right. Now let me look down here at this cube here. We've got a pair of 6s down the right side and the middle side. So this one has to be a 6. Okay, and which now leaves us only one spot left for the 9. Okay, now this 1 comes down, so we have to have a 1 here. And we have a 2, a 3, a 4. We need a 5. Nothing to help us with that. We have a 6, a 7. We need an 8. Okay, nothing to limit those yet. So these are all could be 5s or 8s. All right. We do have a 1 that comes down here in the center, and we have a 1 in the left side. So one of these two has to be the 1. No help on the 2 yet. 3. 4. 5, 6, 7. Now I have a pair of 7s and a 7 here, which is going to tell me that I have to have a set of 7s here somewhere. Now I'm going to use this cube here because I have a 1 and some 1s. So it matches the 1 that we're missing up here. I have a set of 4s. Let's see what else I have here. 8s, 5s. Okay. It's not giving up very many secrets very quickly, but that's okay. So I do have a pair of 6s here, so we know that a 6 has to go here and here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s. Okay, 9 has to be either top or bottom here because of this one coming up through the middle. Let's take a look at this one here real quick. So we have a 1 here, and any of these 3 could be a 2. We have a 3, we have a 4. 5 could be any of these ones. 6, 7. 7 has to be one of these 2. Okay, because I have a 7 here and a 7 here. Oh, there we go. Nope. I almost got overexcited there. One of these 2 has to be a 7 because of this one and this one. Okay. Okay, any help on the 8? Okay, but we do have help on the 9. 9 has to be over here. Okay, cool. So I'm looking at this column here. I noticed a 1 that says these 2 can't be a 1. And you see how I have this ghost row here that says this can't be a 1 because one of these 2 has to be a 1. So this is actually the only spot that we can have a 1 for this column. So now I can get rid of that 1. Okay. Now I have a pair of 3s that come up. Only one spot left for the 3. So now the number I have left is a 9 and a 5, it looks like. Is that right? 9 and a 5. So that double locks it. They cannot be anything else. So I've got my 1, I've got my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I need an 8. And that can be any 3 of these, right? Yep. Okay, so now let's take a look at this one. We have 4s and 7s. So it looks like we need 2s and 5s. And we do have a 2 here and a 5 here. Okay, let's look at this one here. Because if I need a 2 and a 5, and this can't be a 4 or a 7, I think this is only can be a 2. See the 5 right there? All right, let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, cool. So this is game is going to be just a lot of this crisscross. Oh, nah, I didn't mean 5. I meant 2. There we go. Now one of these 2 was our 2, so now it has to become this one. Only spot left, and I'll clean up my pencil mark. And the other number we were missing was an 8, so I can put in that these 2 are now 7s and 8s. Okay, and then we were missing a 5 up here still. That's all right. Okay, so now we just have 2 numbers missing here. It looks like a 3 and a 4. Is that right? 3 and a 4? Okay, 3 and a 4. So these 2 are now double locked. They can't be anything else. So I've got a 1. Now I've got a 2 across. Cool. So we're getting a little bit of help with the 2s. We've got our 3 and our 4. Now we need a 5. Now 5 can be any one of these. 6, 7. We've got our 8. And now we need a 9. And 9s are not there just yet. Okay, So we're getting there. Okay, cool, cool. I just saw a 3 here that got me pondering over here. Because I have a 3 here and a 3 here. So it just gives me 2 spots for the 3 to be. Anywhere where there's only 2 spots, I like to mark those. Okay. All right. So I've got a 1, a 2. I've got my 3 identified, a 4. Now I have one of these as a 5, but all the rest of these could be 5 as well. We've got our 6 marked, our 7 marked. 8 can be anywhere as well, and then our 9. All right, so we are getting there slowly but surely. Let me look and see what I got. Come on, brain. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, a 1 and a 5 and an 8 is what we're missing down here. That's what I was kind of looking at. All right, so we still have a 2, we still have a 4, 5, and an 8. All right, let me take a look back here at this one now that we have some other numbers. We've got 1 identified. Okay, we have a 2 across and a 2 down. Oh, there we go, and we have a 2. Okay, cool. So we only have 2 spots left for the 2. That's good. Okay, so for the 3, we still have 4 spots for the 3. 4 has to be across the top. 5 has to be down the left side. 6's oh, there we go. Perfect. So see, this 6 comes down the left, and this 6 comes right on down the middle. So the only spot left to put a 6, folks, is right there, which helps me with my 3. Now I have a 3 and a 3 and a 3, so now my 3 has to go here. Very good. And then now the numbers I'm missing are a 2 and a 4. But the helpful thing that I have is this gives me a ghost row. So this 2 tells me that the 2 can't be here. The 2 has to be down here. And then I have a 4 in here somewhere. So no 4 can go here because a 4 has to go here. So now these 2's and 4's are interlocked. Or what I call it is double locked, right? This has to be a 2, then this is a 4. If this is a 2, this is a 4. Which tells me you can't put a 1 there anymore. So the only spot left for a 1 is right there. So we'll clean those up. And then the 2 numbers we're missing here are a 5 and an 8. And that is very fitting. 5 and an 8, 5 and an 8, because that matches the other 5's and 8's. Maybe 5's and a 9, 7's and an 8. So this must be a 7 and a 5, because there's my 8 right there. There's that 5 and an 8 being a stinker. But we see him. He's showing. Okay. Now what did we do? We put this 6 and this 6 and this 6. So now the 6 has to be in the smack middle here, which makes nice symmetry with this one. Okay, well, let me go ahead and mark my 4's. I know we've got it. Now, these 2 numbers are 5's and 8's, 5's and 8's. See, those are interlocked. Those are interlocked. Okay, that cleans up this here. Okay, 2's, 4's, and 7's. Very good. Okay, all right. So we've got our 1's. We've got, okay, we have a 5 and a 5. We've got our 6's identified. What about our 8's? Do we have our 8's? Not yet. 3's are marked. 2's are marked. Okay, what other numbers do we just resolve here? Resolved some numbers here. This 3, okay, we've got the 3, we've got the 6, and those helped us out. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got our 4 here and our 2 here and our 2 here. Those look beautifully locked. Okay. Okay, where are we at next, folks? I'm getting myself a little bit stuck right here. I almost marked this as an 8. See, this is a 3 and a 6, but it could be an 8. Could be a 9. There's not a lot of numbers. These ones are locked. See, I got to be careful. Some of these cubes are locked, fully written out. These bottom 4. But these ones are not fully written out, so I can't make the call here. Now, these 3 and 4 are locked. Okay, so what am I missing over here? 5s, right? 5s, 5s. Okay, now that's fully marked out. I think that's where I got to get to so I don't miss anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5s can be top or bottom. 5s can be top or bottom. Let's mark them all. Okay, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7. We got our 8 marked, and then 9s. Now 9s are just like the 5s. Can be top or bottom. Okay, I'm just marking them down here so I don't get myself confused. 1, 2, we've got our 3, our 4. Now 5 can go everywhere. 5, 5, 5, 5. We have our 6 right here, 7. And then we have an 8 here, but 8 can go everywhere. And then our 9 can't go here in the left, but it can go everywhere as well. Okay. Okay, so now these are fully marked out. Okay, so we've got a 1, a 9, and it looks like we're missing a 4. Is there any help for my 4? Okay, so there we are. Four, 5, 4, 9. See, those are really clean. This is my 2. There's my 1. There's my 7. There's my 7. Okay, so this cube here is my linchpin here at the moment. So we got our 1. We've got our 2. We've got our 3. Now 4 has to be across the top here. Okay, now we have a 5 and a 5, so 5 has to be down the left side. Okay, now 6 is one of these two, right? 6, yep. And then our 7 and our 7. So our 7 can be any one of these 4, right? Okay, and then our 8, left and right, has to be down the middle. 8, 8, 8. Okay, and then 9 comes up through the middle. And 9 can be all of these fellers. Okay, so now it is fully marked out. And I try not to do this until I get to the spot where I'm having a hard time catching the next pattern. Okay. All right, so now, perfect. Like, so see this 5 and 9 and this 5 and 9? I wasn't seeing those two 5s and 9s until I fully marked it out. So if this is a 5, this is a 9. If this is a 5, this is a 9. But either way, this row cannot have another 5 or a 9 to make these two work, right? So that means that this one can't have a 5 or a 9. That means this one can't have a 5 or a 9. So this one is only left to be a 3. Okay, so now I can clear up my 3 here, and I can clear up my 3 here. And in the center cube, I know I got a lot of numbers here, but I remember my 3 was in one of these two spots because I have a 3 across and a 3 in the left. So this spot here now has to become a 3. Okay, Now I'm looking at the numbers here. See this 6 and 8, 6 and 8? That cleaned up really nice. Okay, and then my 5 and 8. Let's see what else just happened with that. We put a 3 in. What was the other number I just put in? I know I just put one more number in. My brain's not remembering what I did. Did I put this 7 in? I don't think I put the 7 in. 5 and 9, 5 and 9. Okay. Okay, now this particular, when I took this 5 and 9 out, okay, so these two are the only 5s and 9s. I now notice I have a ghost row here of 9s. Okay, so see how there's no 9 here or no 9 here left? Okay, that tells me that the 9 here goes all the way across. That means I can't have a 9 here, I can't have a 9 here. These are the only two spots left that could have a 9. Which also tells me this can't be a 9 anymore because one of these two has to be a 9. So that makes this one a 5, makes that one a 9, and then we should kind of cascade a smidge. Now that we have our 5, I'm going to get rid of these 5s and do a little cleanup of my pencil marks here. Okay, now that I have a 5 here, I'm going to clean up my 5s here and here. Only spot left for a 5 now is right here. Okay, very good. And that makes this now our 8. We're just going to kind of cascade and follow these through. There's our 5. Now there's our 8. Now that this is a 5, of course it's going to cascade up here to this one being a 7. Now this one has to be an 8. Now this one has to be a 7. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and clean up my pencil marks, get rid of those 7s there. All right, now this 7 follows on down here. Let me clean up my 7s over here. And you'll see now I just have one spot left for a 4. And I can clean up my 4s. Clean up my 4s, my pencil marks here. Now I do have an 8 here, so I missed updating this one a little earlier, so I'll throw that in there. Now I only have one spot left for a 1. So now I'll clean that up. Only have one spot left for a 1 up here. So see those 4s and 9s? That's usually the indicator that I'm on the right track. Not when it just completely gives me all the answers, but when you end up with some clean numbers left over. So like see here's a 6 and an 8, and here's a 6 and an 8. But what that tells me is that this can no longer be an 8 because these two are double locked. If this is a 6, this will be an 8. If this is an 8, this will be a 6. So now 2, now you see that when I clean up the 2? Now I have 7s and 9s, so it just kind of cleans itself up a little bit. Now here's the 2s out of here. Only spot left for a 2 is there. The only number left 4 and 7. Okay, now this is a 7. Well, this will make this one a 9. That'll make this one a 7. Now that this is a 9, this one becomes a 4. Now that that's a 4, that becomes a 9. Now that we have a 4 here, we're just going to come over here to this one. That makes that a 5. Makes this one a 4. Now I'm going to clean up my pencil marks here a little bit. Get rid of these 5s. I got 2s and 9s, very clean. I got a 9 up here, so I'm going to clean up my 9s up here. 5s and 8s, very clean. Now we do have a 5 down here, so there's our 8. There's our 5. Okay, now this 8 is going to say that these two can't be an 8 anymore, so this is the only spot left for an 8. And then we'll clean up these 8s, and we'll see now this is the only spot left for a 6. The only spot left for a 9. That cascades up here to these two and 9. Now that we have this 3, cascades up here, 4. This is one of the reasons why it's very, very important to keep your pencil marks up nice. Here's a 2 and a 4. So down here we've got to flop those 4 and a 2. And we have an 8 and a 6, so we got to flop those guys there, 6 and an 8. And there we have it, folks. 24 minutes, which is not terribly bad for a hard puzzle. It was interesting how much of both vertical and horizontal counting was in this particular one. So, you know, it's kind of neat to see they're using different techniques to solve the puzzles. Hope you guys had fun watching that, and I always recommend pausing it and printing you off a couple copies before we play. And I always welcome any comments, suggestions, or challenges. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll catch you next time.